What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We're back today with the Cadillac Allante that was flooded in Hurricane Ian. So if you haven't been following along on this journey, this is a 1992 Cadillac Allante. Pininfarina, coach builder from Italy, produced this body, and Cadillac did the drivetrain. So it's a very unique car that back in the day cost a lot of money by today's standards. This was a six-figure car back in 1992. Now, most people have a lot of negative things to say about the Cadillac Allante, but personally, I actually truly love this car, and that's why I'm continuing on the journey of putting it back together. I'm going to show you on the windows how high the water got, all right? The water got to this line right here. I'm sure you can kind of see the difference in color between here and here. There is a distinct line going across here. And there's even a little bit of debris on the inside as well, right there. Now, the water was not this high. These windows were down all the way, so the water was actually about here. But on the front of the car, the water was much deeper, which tells me this car was probably floating, and it was probably floating a little bit like this. The front of the car must have been much further down, because if you look at the headlights inside, even though it's hard to see, all of that black, it's all molded and rusted all the way up on the inside, which means the whole front end of the car was completely underwater. If you pop this hood, you'll see some signs of that. You'll see some rust on these bolts up at the top of the core support here. The fact that the transmission was completely full of goop, this pink gelatin-like goop, and even after putting about 20-25 quarts of transmission fluid through it and a new filter, we still have trans fluid that comes out looking like this. Like a pink milkshake, a strawberry milkshake. Not good at all. So I'm going to be addressing a couple things today. Primarily that transmission. I need to get the water out of the transmission. That is a huge deal. If you saw the last video, we made some mistakes pulling out the seats, and in the process broke the windshield. Anyway, now that that's all done and out of the way, I need a lot of parts for this car if I'm really wanting to put it back together and make it right. So I did the right thing, and I bought a parts car in Houston with no keys, mileage unknown. We know absolutely nothing about the car other than it's got the parts I need. It's got seats. They are red. We could use the seats that are in that car, and we could even use the red carpet. It would look a little off, but it might not look too bad. This seat is fine. That seat is in pretty bad shape. The leather is still good on both of them, so if we wanted to change them over, we absolutely could. I'm not sure if that's the direction I'm going to go or not, or if I'm just going to put the red carpet, red center, what is this, armrest, red carpet, red armrest, and maybe the red seats. It might actually look decent. I don't know. You guys can comment below and tell me what you think. But in today's video, my goal is to rip this carpet out. I want to install the new window motors. These are brand new window motors. I want to try to put the door panels back together. And I want to get the trans fluid changed. I want to get that pan off. I want to get a new filter, new gasket installed, and get that nasty fluid out of there. And hopefully, we will have clean fluid when we're done. I'll be doing a video on the parts car when I go to Houston to pick it up. That's going to be a long drive. It's over 6 hours there and 6 hours back. So I'm not really looking forward to it, but they want over $1,000 for shipping. And that just doesn't make sense because it's only going to cost me like $120 to go get the car and bring it back up here. I hope that the parts car works out for me because it was very expensive. I paid way too much money for it. And quite honestly, no joke, this isn't for YouTube. Like, I'm sitting here kind of with my heart falling out of my chest here going, damn, that was a lot of money. Plus what I got into this one, it's getting to be ridiculously expensive. And the only reason I'm continuing on with it It's because I actually love the car. Now, if you're wondering why I would buy an entire parts car just to fix this one, well, there's a lot of little things that I've started adding up the prices for, and they actually come out to be quite a bit of money. This little module right here is completely dead. It's toast. That module is almost impossible to find. It's a suspension module. We also have all these relays and stuff that were underwater as well. These, some of them, are very, very hard to find. And then we have this shifter assembly completely rusted. And that is a problem because it makes it difficult to get the key out of the car, and it makes it difficult to get it in and out of park. That's another problem. That whole shifter assembly needs to be replaced. There's a shift cable that broke. We need to replace that as well. So as you see, we start looking into all the little things here, and they really start adding up to quite a bit of money. I spent $300 on speakers anyway. The point is, there's a lot of little parts that I'm going to need for this car to put. The seats alone were $1,300. So at this point, I'm trying to save some money by spending money on an entire parts car. We're going to start with this window motor right here. I've already got everything disconnected. We're going to get in here with a 10. We're going to zip. Ooh, there's one missing. That's great. Hopefully it's fallen behind the window there somewhere. But we're going to get this off. We're going to get the new motor in. Lickety split. Oh, that's right. I forgot that these are on studs that fall out. They like to fall out behind the regulator. Come on. There we go. There's the old one. You can see how rusted she is, man. It's actually, and this whole piece is disintegrated. That's why I ended up buying the new ones. Let me see if I can find the other stud to put this back together. So before I decide to bolt everything back together, I just want to make sure that my motor is working, which requires hooking up all this spaghetti here. It's kind of a pain, but I'd rather find out now if something's not working than bolt it all back together and have a problem. So let's turn this around. This should have express down, and this is your express down module right here. So I want to make sure this is working before we bolt it all back up. Let's see what happens. And express down works. I don't think it has express up. No, it's only one way. Wouldn't hurt to put a little grease on the track. I'll grease that track up just a little bit, help it out some, but it works. We have working windows on this side. What about the, oops, wrong side, hold on. Oh no. Well, well, it's a good thing I bought another motor. I don't know if you guys saw the video or not, but Santa's workshop took these window motors apart and he cleaned them up, put them back together, and this one was working. I've got everything hooked up over here, including the express. I've got the switch. Let's try it from here. Nah, she's done. That motor is burnt out, so that means I got to take this apart, and let's get this motor out of here. All right, let's try this again now that I replaced. Uh-oh. Nothing at all. Lovely. That means it's most likely the express down box here that is giving up the ghost, and I had a hunch that it would. Yeah. Come on, man. Do the thing. Do the thing. Nope. It's going to be this module right here. Yep. Can you guys see down in there? Do you see all the corrosion on the first two pins? Yeah, that'll do it. Chances are, ooh, about dropped it. Chances are this box is dead. I'm going to try to clean it up, and we'll come back, and it's either going to work, or chances are this is probably toast. I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to put this damn door panel back together. Like, I'm legit frustrated with this door panel. That was a pain, man. Anyway, the door works outside and inside. Very important. It's the most important door on the car, okay? Now, the other important thing is that we can put the key in. I did grease the tracks, and the express down works. Now, for the other side. I can't put the other side back together yet for a couple reasons, and I'm a little bit peed about it. I'm trying to use friendly words. I'm working really hard not to say things that kids might not like on the channel, you know, or parents might not like their kids hearing. So forgive me, I'm trying. This window still does not work. I put the new motor in. I've checked all the wiring. I've cleaned all of the wiring thoroughly, and here's what I did. I pulled out my voltmeter, and I found out that when you're trying to bring the window down, we're only getting 3 volts. When the window's pushing up, we get about a volt, maybe a volt and a half. Obviously, that's nowhere near enough. That seems to me like a bad connection, or potentially a bad fuse. The problem is I don't have a fuse diagram, so I'm going to have to look one up. I'm going to assume we've got a problem either in there. There's more fuses hiding behind the battery back here. I don't think there's a relay issue. Oh, and I got one other great issue. Earlier, I told you guys I paid $300 for these speakers. These are the genuine original Bose speakers, and I just decided to replace them all. So I, off camera, hooked them up. They're not put where they're supposed to go yet. They actually go up here. But that one works, that one works, that one works. But guess what? Just guess, this one doesn't work. And I know you're probably going to say, well, there probably is a wiring issue. No, there's not. Because I took that speaker, they are interchangeable, and I plugged it into this one, and guess what happened? It came right to life. So that speaker, or the internal amplifier, has gone bad. So if I do put this whole thing back together, at some point I will have to take it apart all over again to do this. And I'm here to tell you the hardest part of putting this door panel together and taking it apart, the hardest part, there's 2 things. One is the door lock. The other is the door handle. Those damn Italians, right? You got these silly little clips, man, and they are tiny. And you got to be a contortionist to get behind the door panel. You have to get the door panel on, and then you got to get those clips on. If you do manage to do that, which takes a while, but you can do it. You see these 2 holes behind the door handle? Oh, this is fun. This is really fun. I want you to see how far the door handle opens so that you can actually get to these. That is as far as the door handle opens right there. That's it. That's it. There's barely room to get in there and screw this into the door. And to make things even more fun, the screw holes to screw this door handle into the door are mounted in a bracket for that subwoofer right there, for that speaker. And you want to know what's even better? We're just having a ball today. I've been looking around everywhere, and we're missing a little bracket. Guess what bracket it is? Yeah, you guessed it. That bracket that's missing is the bracket for that speaker that goes in that door. Where did the bracket go? I have no idea. I have no idea. I've searched my shop. I can't find it. Without that bracket, I cannot bolt the door handle back to the door. So ultimately, I guess I'm just kind of SOL at the moment. On top of that, like I said, the passenger window is not working with a brand new motor, so that's a problem as well. I have spent way too long getting far too little done. I'm really disappointed in how long this is taking. This door is buttoned up. That door, we got multiple problems, man. That bracket missing is a problem. That speaker not working is a problem. And I already paid the $300, and it's been so long I probably can't file a claim against it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on buttoning up these rear speakers. Or actually, I think I'm just going to take the old ones out. I'll wait to put those back in because I don't know if I'm going to get to it in this video, but I bought a brand spanking new, you guys know what this goes to, right? This goes to this bad boy right here. This is the, how is it, like this? Like this. It goes like this. It sits upside down like that. Yeah, this is guaranteed to work, so we can actually pop our fuel door and close it. I know it's a little, she sounds a little, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, that actually sounds really bad. But anyway, we've got the new part here, so we can at some point maybe change that out. I don't know. I need to get the carpet out of this car. This car stinks. It smells absolutely freaking disgusting. We've got to get this carpet out. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on next, other than checking the fuses and trying to get that window to work. All right, we should have everything to get this carpet out of the way. It's a split carpet, goes right down the middle, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah, I think we've got it. Let's go ahead and pull it out and see how bad. Oh, is it stapled to this stupid plastic? It is. It was. It's not anymore. Whew. All right. Let's move this out of the way. Let's see. What is it holding up on under here? There shouldn't be any thing left for it to. Ooh, boy. Yeah, there's a little bit of nastiness under there. Let's see if we can. Ugh. Probably don't want to breathe that, you know what I mean? So there's another staple holding it. Okay, no more staples. Time to pull it. Look at all that mold. Ugh. Gotta get these connectors out from under there, and then she should just, there we go, pop out without too much complaints. Ooh, gross. Wow. I knew it was oh, it's still soaking wet. Yeah, she's still soaking wet, guys. Oh boy. Well, there's one of our bolts for our seat. There's another one right there. Those are going to be fun. We're going to have to see what Michael thinks, how he thinks is the best way to go about it. This is absolutely, oh, disgusting. Yeah. Well, I guess I can rip the rest of this out of here. This is really nasty. Maybe I should take that plastic centerpiece out too while we're at it. It seems like the more I try to make progress, the less progress comes my way. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So I just figured something else out. I'm one of those that I get bored working on the same problem for too long, and if I can't figure it out quickly, or within a reasonable amount of time, I step back from that problem and I will check out another problem. I decided to check out the heat. Well, I've got news for you. After playing around with it for a while, she does have heat. It only comes out about 85 degrees, and that's at best, but it's heat nonetheless. It's more than we had before. The blower motor works on all speeds, and, well, oh, shoot. Thank you, you great little car, for setting the freaking alarm. I think I better leave this somewhere where it's easier to get to, like right there. All right. Anyway, see, even the alarm works. Anyway, it does have heat. It's a kind of a Cadillac problem. The heat is not great, just like on my Fleetwood. Why? Because I need to flush it. The coolant in this did not look very good, and also it was very low on coolant. I just put almost a gallon of coolant in it, so it probably wouldn't hurt to do a proper cooling system service on this. We'll need to do a coolant flush, of course. We'll try to back flush that heater core, and maybe change the thermostat while we're at it. And I'll bet you do those things and the heat comes right back to life full blast. Also, the air conditioning works absolutely great. As for this window over here, try as I might, I can't figure this out. I even swapped over the express down control units from each door, and they both work. All right, both of the control units worked on that window. The motor works, but I'm getting 0 volts with the switch up or down from either switch over here. So something has gone wrong. It could be a problem in the master switch. I don't really know. I'm going to have to look around and see if there's a relay. I checked all of the fuses in this box. I checked all of the fuses hidden under here. I checked all of the fuses in the trunk. I've gone through all of the fuses. I can't get the window to do anything. With that said, the smell in the car has quickly gone from awful to acceptable. Getting that carpet and that padding out of here was huge. I will go in there with a brush and I'll scrub and I'll clean it up with some cleaner. And then hopefully when the parts car comes in, I will swap everything over. And to be honest with you, The parts car may look as good, if not better, than this one. So it's got me really just scratching my head like, what am I doing, man? The parts car has some issues for sure, including the fact it has no keys and it doesn't run. There may be a mileage issue on that one. This car, however, the reason I want to save this car is, number one, it was underwater. The whole front of the car was underwater, and half the rest of the car was submerged underwater. That's why I want to save it. I want to show that you can take a saltwater flooded car, and you can bring it back to life, which we did. But I'd like the car to continue proving itself to everyone. Can't do that sitting in my garage. I need the seats and everything to work as well. That's why I tore all that stuff out. I want to continue working on this car and trying to bring it back as close as I can to its former glory. Will I ever succeed? I don't know. It was already a win for me because it made it 1,500 miles from Florida back here. Now, I'm going to stop wasting your time talking. Let's get it up in the air. Let's see what this trans fluid looks like, and let's change it again. We have never done a full walkthrough underneath this car before. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Let me move that out of the way. Take a look under here, guys. This is pretty impressive. Now, the exhaust is a little rusty. I think you can understand why. She was under salt water, and the exhaust was full of salt. So, yeah, the exhaust got a tad bit rusty. Especially this. Look at that sucker. Yeah, the muffler has seen better days, that's for sure. Anyway, up under it though, look at this. You even still have the writing on the bumper. I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there, yeah. Everything under here, aside from a few parts of the exhaust, everything looks pretty daggum good. The bushings and everything are in excellent shape. This is truly phenomenal. Uh-oh, my light's dying. Well, anyway, I guess I better throw this on charge. This is what we're after today, and it's a little wet under here. You guys may remember she was puking transmission fluid out of the dipstick, so it did get a little messy. We're going to take this pan off. We're going to see what this fluid looks like now. Well, I know a lot of people have been wondering what the fluid actually looks like in here, and well, there it is. It's very strawberry-ish. However, with that said, the transmission still shifts absolutely perfect. It shifts flawlessly, guys. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I think it's just going to take doing this a few times to get all of the water out, bring that fluid back to what it's supposed to look like, which is a nice, beautiful red color. Thankfully, I've got, I don't know, about 30 quarts? Yeah, 30, 35 quarts of fluid, so and a new filter. We're going to take this pan off, and we're going to see after 1,500 miles of driving with this stuff in it, if there's any metal in the pan. All right, so I should have gloves because this pan is super freaking hot, and I don't. Oh, that's hot. That's real hot. That is real hot. There we go. There we go. I can handle that. All right, let's push that back up. Let's take this last bolt out. That almost went really, really bad. I'm not, ooh, that's hot, damn. Ah, ow, ow, ow. There we go. All right. Boy, that is hot as hell. You guys ready for the first look in the pan? Ooh. Well, you can't see it, can you? Give me a minute. We'll be back. Ow! Jeez. Ah. Good Lord. I really should let this thing cool off. Ah, yeah, okay. I get the drift. I get the drift. Hot, hot, hot. Well, I don't know if this is gonna go good or bad. This could splash all over my face. It's still hot. There we go. Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, there we go. I've now made a freaking mess everywhere. Lovely. Well, I told you I was going to show you the good, bad, and the ugly. And there's a lot of stuff going on in this pan here. Some of it, well, I know what quite a bit of it is. You see all this gooey white stuff in the pan? That is some of the heaviest of the milkshake, but also that is a bunch of WD-40 and some other lubricants that I shoved down the transmission trying to fix that shifter. There's a lot of that floating around. I mean, a lot of this is just really thick. What I'm trying to say is it looks a lot worse than it actually is. Underneath all of this gray material, you're going to find, look at all that white stuff. Now there is, unfortunately, some nasty gray clutch material in here. The magnet looks fine. And then over here in this corner, it's just a combination of clutch material. There's some water in here, lubricants that I put in it, and transmission fluid. So yeah, she's a little rough, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not what I was hoping to find in the pan, but I swear to you, well, if it had seats in it, I would take it out and drive it right now. It shifts through all the gears just fine. Monkey Wrench Mike can tell you it made it all the way back with only one issue where we believe the transmission overheated at one point. And maybe that's what some of that stuff in there is. It's from the transmission getting hot. Obviously, water is not compatible with your automatic transmission or your manual transmission for that matter either. Regardless, I know that this transmission still works. I still have faith in the car. I'm going to clean this mess up, and then we're going to put all of this back together, and I'm going to call it a night. You can see up there, it looks good inside. Everything looks all right. Considering where this car came from, I still have faith in the girl, man. She proved to me that she could make it 1,500 miles, and I think it's capable of a whole lot more than that. Ready for the after? There she is. She looks good as can be. That magnet is nice and clean as well. So I'm going to put a gasket on that. We'll put some bolts in the gasket to hold everything in place. I got to put that filter back in. And trust me, I know some of you are going to say, Randy, you're going to end up with that milky stuff right back in the transmission again. And you're right. You're 100% right. There's a lot of water that's got to get pushed out of this system. But it definitely didn't hurt to change that filter after 1,500 miles of driving. And it's not going to hurt to put a new gasket on it, put it back, and just flush it out as best I can. I can only do what I could do, guys. I don't have a special machine or anything to do the proper flushes. I could take it somewhere, but of course, right now we're sitting with no seats and a busted windshield. All right, she is all buttoned up. Every single bolt, didn't miss one. Got to show you guys. Because somebody's going to say, nah, you lost a bolt. We didn't lose any bolts, guys. They're all there. All right, I got to throw a little bit of my super clean floor absorbent down because I did make a little bit of a mess over there. And then we'll drop the car down. We'll fill her up with trans fluid. See how she does. All right, guys, so I found something in the trunk of the car, and it's so corroded you can't even unzip it. What does this say? Dooney something. I can't even read it, guys. It's kind of corroded. Maybe some of you will recognize it, but it's got DB all over the bag, and it's lots of different colors. But you try to unzip it, and it's frozen solid from the salt water. I'm curious what's in it. I can't believe we didn't find this and recognize that there was something in there before. So I've got some meat scissors, I think is what they are. My fiance gets so mad at me for taking this kind of... Ooh. There we go. For taking stuff from the house like this, it's for food, and I keep it. I don't bring it back. Once I start using it on cars, it's over with. Oh, good Lord. Ugh. Wow. I do wonder what's in here. Watch, there'll be nothing. I'm certain there's something in here. I'm positive that there is something in here. I can feel it. There we go. There we go. All right, you guys ready? See what's in here? Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. It's almost laughable. You guys aren't going to be able to see this. I'll have to dump it out in my hand. Do you see this? Watch this. Yeah, that's it. It's a bunch of quarters. A whole bunch of freaking quarters. Yeah. Okay, well, we made some of our money back, right? Let's see. $1, $2, $3.75. Couldn't even get a full $4. We got $3.75 back. All right, well, I have put somewhere around 3 quarts of trans fluid in it. I just got off the phone with Monkey Wrench Mike. He told me it's the bottom hose that we use to do the flush. I have one major problem. I have a bunch of hoses that I usually keep right here that I use for stuff like this. There are no hoses. None. I was ready to go too, man. I got my jug. I'm ready. I'm ready. I need a hose so we can flush this crap out of the transmission. Well, I found a hose and it's on there. And I should have done it the right way and put a clamp on it to make sure it wasn't going to come off. But I didn't do that because there's no room down there. No room at all to be messing with a clamp. So, wish me luck. I'm going to fire it up. Oh, I need to open this door because the exhaust is potent with this one. Get that door open. Let's fire this up and let's hope that we can get most of the rest of this crap out of this car because I don't want to deal with a bad transmission. Let me set this e-brake too. Oh, is it already set? Or is it not working? Yep, there we go. It was already set. There we go. She's set again just for safety. Hopefully it's all coming out. Yep, there it is. Alright. We don't want her to run out of fluid, so you know the routine, guys. Pour it in and let it spit it out until hopefully this stuff all comes out nice and red like this right here. All right, that is 1 gallon run through her. Let's see what it's looking like. She's getting better. She's getting better. We got a long way to go though, guys. All right, let's see what's coming out now after 15 quarts. That's what she's supposed to look like right there. Right there. I know it still looks a little, it looks like it's got water in it. This is normal trans fluid right there. What that is it's aerated. There's a lot of air in the system and that's what it is. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. We'll fill it up, check the levels, and hopefully the trans is good to go. I'm going to call this wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I am done. It has been a long night. It is Friday for me, and this video is coming out Saturday morning for you, and it's got to be getting pretty late. I haven't even had lunch. I haven't had dinner. It is 10:33. 10:33. I got an hour drive home, plus I got to clean up. I got trans fluid and stuff all over my hands. So it's going to be a late night for me. I sprinkled some of the super clean all over the floor here. Hopefully it'll sop all that fluid up while I'm gone. I'm going to leave most of my tools out because these are the tools that I've needed to work on the car so far, and I still can't decide if I'm going to go down to Houston and pick up my sight unseen 1990 Allante or not. I really don't know. Big Al said that the hard tops on those are worth like $2,000 or something. If that's the case, then I'll be into the car for $700. But if that's not the case, then I don't know. Or is that other car going to be nicer than this one? And would it make more sense to save that one instead of continuing with this? I'm at a loss. All I know is this one's got 40,000 miles on the odometer, man. And she made it 1,500 miles after being flooded halfway up the doors and all the way over the engine. She survived, and that makes me want to save it that much more. I need you to help me. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Should we continue saving this one with the parts car from Houston, or do you think it might make more sense to try to save the parts car that we're getting in Houston? Or there's another option. I could pay Copart $600 and back out of the deal. I know $600 is a lot of money, but I could pay them $600 and I could back completely out of the deal, and I would save $2,100 and then just let this thing go down the road. I mean, I don't know how it's going to go down the road without seats, but you guys comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on the 1992 Cadillac Allante.